Hey guys, welcome back to AlgoYogi. We are doing array and hashing series, and next problem in the list is height checker. Let's go to LeetCode. Alright, a school is trying to take an annual photo of all the students. The students are asked to stand in a single file line in non-decreasing order by height. Let this ordering be represented by the integer array called expected, where expected ith value is the expected height of the ith student in the line. You are given an integer array called heights representing the current order that the students are standing. Each height ith value is the height of the ith student in line. Now we need to return the number of indices where this height of this current order is not equal to what it should be, which is expected array. An expected array is basically non-decreasing array. So here let's see what we need to do. I'm taking the first example here. This is the current order of the height of the students. Now we need to return what are the values that do not match with the expected height array. Well, do we have expected array? No. So but we can create it. How can you create it? There are two ways of creating it. First, let's go over the first value. By the way, once I have that expected array, then I can compare, I can iterate over that expected or height array and then check for each index what are the values that don't match, and then I will return that. So there are two ways of doing it. First is sorting. I will sort this height. So expected array would be sorted height. So sorted function in Python will return a new array. It wouldn't sort the same thing. So right, heights. So this will give me the expected array, and then I can iterate over both of them. So for I in range len height, then I will just see. So I will have something called count. This is my result, initially 0, and if these values are different, so height at ith is not equals to expected, then I will increment my count and return count. That is the solution 1. This is solution 1. Now this is the solution 1, and I will just show you, a dry run on this as well. So this expected, when you sort this, expected would be 1 1 1 and then 2 and 3 and 4. Now tell me, what are the values that are different here? Well, these are okay, but this is different. This student is not standing in the right order, and then this is different, and this is different, and this is different. So the answer would be 3. So the answer is 3, right? And that is exactly what we are doing. That is exactly what we have done right here. That is solution 1. You can go ahead, write it, submit it. It will work. And it will be of time complexity. The time complexity for this solution would be big of n log n, because we're doing sorting, right? So sorting takes this time complexity, and for space also it will be big of n, because we are not also, like, this is big of n because we are creating this new sorted array, right? So this is brute force. You can create brute force, but like this works perfectly fine, get submitted. So I don't know if this is brute force, right? So now another solution. Let's move to a better solution. Well, that solution is not any different in terms of you will be creating this expected array and then checking here. The only part that is different is only part that is different is creating this array, this expected array. So here we were doing sorting, so this was our main thing, sorting. But now to create this, we will use bucket sort. I think bucket sort is something. No, what I'm trying, name is not important. What is important is I want to create this expected array from this array, but based on counting each values, and I was told that values would be in this range 1 to 100. 1 to 100. These are the unique values that I'll be seeing, 1 to 100. So what I'll do is I'll create an array. I will create an array where each index represents the count of each value. So here I see these unique values. First I see 3 1, so I will just so this we can start it at index 0 1 2, and it can go up to 101, 100, not 101, 100. So now when I see 1, then I will increment it. Then I see again 1, I will increment it to 2, 4 will be incremented to 3 and 4. In this case, this will be incremented to 3 will be incremented to 1, 4 will be incremented to 1, 2 will be incremented to 1, and this 1 appeared 3 times, so it will be incremented to 3 now. So everything appeared once except 1 is 3 times. So using this array, I can create my expected array by basically appending these values. So I will go over this. So is 0 has occurred? No. 1, yes, 3 times. So I will loop that many times. So if this is like k, k is the maximum number of times some value has appeared. So I will just put that. So 3 times 1, 1 and 1 into my new array. Then I go to 2, 2, then 3, 3, and then 4. So it's kind of like bucket sort, right? It's bucket sort. I just remembered this is bucket sort. But that's a better way of remembering something by deriving to that point rather than remembering the names. So what I'm doing it, I'm again sorting it to get the expected array, but this time I'm doing it using the bucket sort, and buckets because I have these limited values, these 100 number of values. So I can just create an array of size 100 and then store whenever you increment the count of each key that you have seen, and then loop over that, create the expected array, and then again do the same thing, this right here. That will give you your answer. Well, that was easy, right? And writing solution would be even easier. So let's do that. So I'm gonna create a count array, and I can just call it counter. Initially, let's put 0 for all the values, and I'm doing it for until the value 100. So that many number of, so it will create from 0 to 100. Okay. Now let's go over all the values for let's say num in height or h in height. This counter at h index, I will increment that by 1. Now I need to create expected array, and by the way, for now let me just show you the sorted version as well, because that will get accepted also. Sorted heights, and answer would be 0, and for I in range, length heights, if heights at ith does not match expected at ith position, then you increment your answer and return that. So answer plus 1, and then you return it. So this will also get accepted. I'm just gonna try to submit it. This should also get accepted. Yes, this works 100%. So, but let's make it better with our approach that we discussed, bucket sort. So the only difference is, rather than sorting, we will be creating this. And how do we create it? By using this bucket sort. I've counted each element that I've seen in heights at that particular index. So I will just have it empty array, and then I will go over for I'll say for I in range length counter, or I don't have to go like this way. I can just start at 1 because I know 0 will I will not see 0. I will not see 0 because the values were given. You can check the constraint from 1 to 100. So I will go from 1 to 101, because 101 will be ignored. So in range this, in range this is the value. I can call it value, this point value. Now how many times this value appears? Let's say count will be from the counter. Okay, so the counter will give me the counter of this value. Honestly, at this point I'll just call it I because it's acting as an index. Now for this value, I have gotten the count that is stored in the counter at this index. So I will run a loop for k in range count, and I will append it to my expected array. So expected dot append, that many number of times I'm appending that k. You can also like put it into an array, put the value I, multiply by k, append it to expected. But anyway, this also works. So I'm appending the I is the value, this is the count, that many time I'm appending I to my expected. Now our expected is also created. So this is what we have done differently, rather than sorting the height. So let's submit this one as well, and I really hope this works. Let me change the okay, yes, by the way, this is the new solution, but I'm gonna try to submit it again. Awesome. Okay, so time and space we have already talked about. Time complexity is going to be this time better than big of n log n. This is going to be n into n, not into, I think n and k, n plus k, and that is because we are going over this 100, which is the size of the n, is the size of the array. But here this we are doing for each n, at max it can appear like k number of times. So I think it would be does it mean, since they're nested, does it mean it is going to be n into k? I guess not, because we are given 100 values. At the end of the day they will sum up to be n. I'm not even going to write k here. N is the because that's the size I'm getting, and while building this, at the end of the day these will sum up to be equal to n, right? So that's it. And space complexity would be big of n as well, because I'm creating this expected array. So that is it. That is the entire solution. And sorry, yep, these 3 passes. Okay, so let's mark this solved. See you guys later in the next problem.